So for those of you who are new here, this Tuesday night time gets used to work on a variety of projects to try and create animations. I'm working to try and, in this case, show what happens when a hot Jupiter orbits around a very hot star. And I should be able to have this up in just a minute. The computer language that I use to do this is processing. It's actually more of a framework that's built on top of Java. So this allows me to have a lot of data visualization tools at the ready. And looking to see... So I see people out there tweeting about all of this, so hopefully more people will join in. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to a screen where I can start to show, hey Paranor, why are you saying boo? It's not exactly ghost season yet. Yet being the most important word. Ghost season is always coming. I am in a moment going to be working on shredding a planet in my data visualization. I just need to switch screens over to my programming screen. So here we go with disrupting worlds. And I have the wrong dashboard in front of me. There we go. Okay, so as some of you may remember from last week, I am in the process of trying to figure out how to animate a planet going round and around its sun. And here's the point that we're at right now. And as it goes around, oh, this is not what it should be. This is like where it was a couple weeks ago. Oh no, don't tell me that it lost everything I did last week. That would make me extraordinarily sad. I'm really confused. Don't be the bad. Oh geez, it looks like it lost a couple weeks worth of work. That makes me exceedingly sad. Yeah, I have lost code. Okay, so now I get to redo everything I did last week. I have no clue where the code went or why it went where it went. All I know is I am now sad. Okay, but hopefully things will go faster than it did the first time, since, well, I at least have done this before. Okay, so welcome everyone. You get to watch the sadness that occurs when code decides not to stay in place. So what I am doing is trying to rescue my sad world and get it orbiting a little bit better. I rearranged things thinking maybe if I looked under it, I'd find my code. No, my code was not hidden underneath. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is get my planet orbiting better and then systematically work my way through things that had already been done in a very bitter manner. Yeah, cassette tape, many tears. This happens to all of us. I'm honestly thinking that what might have happened is I forgot that this IDE, unlike most of the others I use, doesn't automatically save things. And thus I didn't manually save things. And now I'm experiencing sadness. Much sadness. Sadness and sarcasm. This is one of those Tuesdays that feels a bit like a Monday. We'll make the best of it. This is what we do. All right, so let's see, how can I fix this most? No, there's never enough coffee, Paranor. Never enough coffee. Words are difficult. Okay, so let me stop this. Let me fix that planet orbiting first. So somewhere I am setting my x variable. So I have planet X is moving forward, planet X is moving backwards. And I need to figure out why it's doing it wrong. So orbit step is clearly what it's doing wrong. So I'm going to look up here and find orbit step. So I know it just needs to be 0.8 times the width divided by 100. That's all I need. So let's see if just making that one change makes it go better. There's my planet doing my planety thing. I'm actually going to rearrange this so it's just doing it at the top of the screen so that you have it there all the time to watch. So there's my planet. Is it going all the way back and forth? Yeah, that fixed that. Okay, so I fixed one thing. Oh, sadness. I feel great sadness. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, because I want this to go in the right order, is I am going to work on making everything into a function. So the first thing I'm going to make is a function that I'm going to call draw star. And it doesn't take any parameters, it just draws a star. And I'm off the bottom of the screen, sorry about that. I shall get myself back in the screen. Come on. Okay, there's where the bottom of my screen is. So my function is going to be called draw star. And it's going to do just that. It's going to draw my star. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to scan through and I'm going to grab the color of the star first. Put the color down here. Oh, I'm going to hate myself for how this code got lost. And you guys are more than welcome to ask me astronomy questions, anything else you feel like asking while I'm here. It looks like it's a quiet night. There's only 11 of you out there. I guess everyone is slowly but surely working to recover from their Memorial Day. Come on, go back up. Okay, so this should be, I think, everything to draw my star. So so Paranor, you're up in Canada. Did you manage to pull off having a long weekend as well? Or did Canada somehow magically have a holiday that matched the US holiday? And I'm going to scan through, making sure there's no planet drawing. Okay, so there's all of that. So you just had a 2-day weekend that felt overly long. That happens to all of us occasionally. Now I'm going to do a function, draw planet. should make sure my draw star works before I start drawing a planet. Victoria Day. Now, was Canada made sovereign under Queen Victoria then? N equals planet radius. Somewhere, there we go, int n. Trying to remember all of these different things. Yeah, Keeper of Maps is not here this evening. Not sure where he is. Hopefully he'll show up at some point. Okay, so let's see if this will draw my planet. There we go. So I have a planet going back and forth and a star. So now I'm going to get everything to draw the planet into a function. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You've hit your second trimester in the language of Twitch. I appreciate that, Finmel. But who was the Queen, Paranor, when when Canada got liberated from England? Like the town I grew up in Westford, Massachusetts, was actually founded under Queen Elizabeth. So we had all sorts of old orchards that were created under Queen Elizabeth, because that was a thing Queen Elizabeth did. Okay, so planet X, planet Y. So I want to draw a planet. So I need to pass to draw planet variables. Canada was liberated under Elizabeth II? That's like the current monarch. I thought Canada had been like its own nation for much, much longer than that. Hey, Bismack 2. And I wouldn't go so far as saying that you were Canadian territory. I would say it was argued over territory. So I know that you're no longer a monarchy, Paranor, but at some point, Canada became its own country, and you weren't a colony anymore. So when did that happen? Missing right curly brace. How am I missing a curly brace? I hate everything. Let's undo what I just did. So I need to declare int n. I'll declare int n at the top. Int n. I'll fight you on that one about the New England states, Paranor. I'm now deeply confused by Canada. I'm going to need to discuss this with my husband at some point. I really thought you'd been like a country in the UN for far longer than that. Okay, so I have a planet going back and forth in front of a star. I'm now going to make a function to draw the planet so that I can get it out of the body. Draw planet. And for some reason, last time I did this, it noped me, so I'm going to just create an empty function and see if it goes. Yeah, so that it was happy with. So now I need to declare int X, int, Y. Oh, no, I made those universals. I don't need to pass them. Okay. Hello, Andy Lee Robinson. This, it's a model. It's not. I'm going to add more and more of the science into it, step by step. But this isn't a model that starts from first principles with physics. This is an illustration that adds the physics in back and forth. Sorry about that, Andy Lee. Basically, I started with a pretty cartoon sketch, and I'm going from a back of the envelope cartoon sketch to adding the physics in step by step by step. So yeah, currently it's moving at a linear rate. It's not supposed to be moving at a linear rate. I'm fixing things as I go. Yeah, I lost a bunch of code, unfortunately. So I'm in the process of trying to resurrect. I'm used to using, I use the JetBrains IDEs all the time. And one glorious thing about the JetBrains IDEs is they autosave constantly. So I don't even have to think about, is my stuff saved? And at some point, apparently, I didn't manually save this, and I had a computer crash. And I lost a couple weeks of work. And now I'm sad and working to resurrect things. And apparently I killed my planet. I forgot to tell it to draw my planet. So I need to add the draw planet somewhere in here. It's taking steps. Right there. So I should do... I should do draw planet, and then I should do draw planet, and I'm realizing I should go ahead and set the radius. I should set the radius somewhere. I'm going to set the radius in here because I know the radius is going to have to change depending on where it is. So I will figure that out later. Let's see if this will work. Fenmel, that seems like a quote out of a book. There is a book, and I can't remember what it was called, that I read last summer. I remember listening to the audiobook while weeding and finding a bright green spider, where the aliens get completely intoxicated off of maple syrup, and basically the New England and Canadian maple syrup harvest is how we get advanced technology from the aliens. And you just reminded me of that. You are going to just completely confuse me tonight. I'm not going to try and figure this out. Okay, so I have my planet going back and forth. So the next thing I want to do is get the planet to go back and forth either in front of or behind the star in a sensible manner. So if I'm going to the right, which is hopefully this one, I want the planet... No, I did that backwards. I want the planet under... I want the planet on top of the star. Come on, you can do it. There we go. And on this side, hopefully I'm doing this right, I want to draw the star on the other side. At least I'm remembering how I did a lot of this, and I'm going to have my notes for the next part where it starts to get more complicated. So let's see if this successfully goes behind the star. Yep. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is figure out where I'm drawing the stupid orange line around everything. I didn't know that Michael Moore made a film called Canadian Bacon. Okay. That sounds awesome. Oh, thank you so much for the auto host, Skylius. This is awesome. So welcome, Skylius peoples. Hopefully some of you are like there and not just sitting. Hello, Cleo ATL. Does that mean you're out there in Atlanta? Or C. Leon, I'm not sure which it is. We're getting all the auto hosts tonight. This is awesome. Okay, going back to what I was trying to do. I'm trying to figure out all the places that I set the color to orange for some reason. So let me get my search bar over here, and I'm going to search through to try and find where I set things to entirely the wrong color. So there I set it, and then I drew something, so I'm going to set the color back to black afterwards. Okay, I'm going to find the next instance. So there I set it to the horrible green for drawing the stick. I drew the stick, I put the color back to black, so there I got it. So there I set the stroke. I drew the arcs. Let me set the color back again. Always reset your color to orange unless you want to have random colored circles. Okay, so hopefully I got it. Let's try replaying this. Thanks for the link to Canadian Bacon. Michael Moore generally does movies I really like. Oh, there's the planet. Okay, I looked at the wrong moment. So it looks like things now have a decent outline color. I'm not going to argue with that. So the next thing I want to do is figure out how to get my stick to move around and change perspective as the planet goes round and round so that it looks like the planet is tidally locked. Okay, if you guys have any questions for me, just let me know, because you guys went in a direction I don't even know what to make of. A loose goose aerial squad sounds like something I really don't want to stand under. That's all I've got to say on that one. Okay, so now then to look at drawing this stick and trying to get the stick to rotate, or at least appear to rotate. Where is it? Oh, I had fun making the stick super long. That was kind of on purpose. I stuck the stick somewhere in my code. Where did I put it? There it is. There it is. Okay, let's move this into its own thing. So I'm going to now create a draw stick function, because everyone needs to draw sticks now and then. Okay, so there is... Oh, and I didn't give my stick a color right here. Let's figure out where that got missed? Somewhere there is a stroke of green. There it is. Okay, so let's remove the stroke of green. There's my stick. I'm going to make my stick green. I'm going to make it a bit longer than it currently is. I'm going to be playing with that length, but for now, let's just make sure I didn't I didn't call that function. When you don't call a function, strangely enough, you don't end up getting things to happen. So if I have the star on top, I want the stick to be on top of the planet because that's the side of the planet we're seeing. If the star is behind, I want the stick to be behind the planet. Draw planet. Draw stick. Okay. Let's see if I got my stick back. Oh my gosh, I have dealt with so many Canadian geese in my life because they like to spend time in America. So yeah, we have a Canadian goose issue here, and they're big and they poop. That is a pretty accurate description of Canadian geese. And they'll chase you down. When I worked at a nearby university, we used to get seasonal emails basically warning us it is nesting season. Do not approach the geese. They will fight you. And they will. You'd periodically see a professor or student running for their life from a Canadian goose. All right, so I want the length of this to vary as it moves. So I'm going to write this out. Vary length so that 0 to 100 is, 0 to 200 is 0 radians to 2 pi radians with cosine. I think that's what I want. So what this means is as it steps back and forth, the length of my stick, which I'm going to call stick length, is going to be equal to, I'm just going to make it a number. Let me replace this stick length, and I need to say what this is, and I'm going to make it a damn float because that's easier than trying to have to fuss with everything. Okay, so I want this to be 100 pixels. I'm going to make it very, very long. I can't wait for you to get Gallifrey Paranor. I paint paintings on my personal channel, and Paranor is acquiring one of them. Okay, so I'm doing cosine of 0 to 200 so I want to do, this is step divided by 200.0, and I need to make step afloat. Divided by 200 times, I think that's a variable. Nope, that's not a variable. That's a variable. Okay, and I totally misspelled float. But I did it with imagination. And I probably shouldn't have a space there. Okay, so theoretically, the length of my stick will now change. That did not go as planned. No, that did not go as planned go as planned at all. Okay, let's try this again. So I'm drawing a line. It's going from the edge of the planet to, oh, okay, I see what I did. I didn't do it as an offset based on length. So this needs to be plus planet radius divided by 2 because that variable is misnamed. Let's try that again. Good, it's now working. Okay. So this is essentially, I'm just trying to draw a stick that's constantly pointed towards the planet, and I exaggerated it a lot the first time just to make it a little bit easier to see if it was behaving. Let me fix this again. So goes away, comes back as the planet appears to rotate. Now, one of the things that it's not doing quite right, and I'm going to change this in 2 steps. So let's first attach it so that when it's in the very center, it's sticking out the center. So I'm going to actually everywhere say planet X, and see if this gets it going from the center of the planet outwards. Okay, so I think that's kind of going from the center of the planet. It's kind of hard to tell, but it looks like it's working. Now what I want it to actually do is be on the edge of the planet when it's on the edges. Hey, Noel. Oh, dang it. Let me correct that. Thank you. Last tweet was a typo. Now live on twitch.tv/CosmoQuestX. Noel, can you leave a message on Facebook saying that I am a liar? Actually, I can probably do that. I have way too many windows open. Here we go. Yeah, sometimes I just typo the bejesus out of things and don't catch it. So I will delete the no live one completely. Delete. Yes, I meant to delete it. I really, really did. Let me see if I can figure out where my page is. Thank you. I can blame many things on the heat, Paranor. I'm not sure that's one of them, because I'm currently sitting like a foot away from my air conditioner. I can blame it on the fact that I really haven't had enough coffee today. Or I've had too much, but really I think I've had too little coffee. There. So I think I now have it deleted from all the places that matter. Alrighty. Well, I appreciate all of you who didn't trust what I tweeted and showed up anyways. Now to go back to trying to get this to move relative to the planet so it's as though the planet is tidally locked. So what I want is, first of all, I'm going to fix this whole planet radius thing where planet radius actually should say planet diameter, because really that is going to annoy me forever and always. So I'm just going to do replace all. That is now fixed. Now the next thing I want to do is, if I want to get it to the correct side of the planet, I want where it is to be a function of cosine again. So I'm going to, just like I created a stick length. Thank you, whatever just made that noise. I need the correct window up because I missed it. Hold on, opening the correct window. Does that mean that my notifications aren't working? That is an excellent quote. A truly excellent quote. I can't even pronounce words correctly today. So what was the noise? Thank you, Nagustava, for the follow. That is excellent. And now notification should be working. Thank you for the follow. Okay, so my planet is behind my star. There it is. So the next thing I want to do is have, and I'm going to do this as a float again, stick X. So this is where the stick is in the x-axis as the starting point. This is going to equal, thank you, Cleon, for the follow. C. Leon for the follow. Are you a C. Leon or a Cleon? I don't know which. Please let me know in the chat. There was another noise. Why was there another noise? Cleon. Okay, I got that right. I'm confused. There are noises that exceed my number of notifications showing up on my screen. I am deeply confused, but happy. Deeply confused, but happy. Okay, going back to trying to figure out my stick's X position. I didn't mean to sound like Svartic, Noel. Okay, trying to figure out my X position. I want to be the planet's X position plus the cosine of the float version of planet diameter. Stop it. And this should be, oh no, that was wrong. So plus the, I don't need to make that a float. I am overdoing it on the floatiness. So I'm just going to grab my cosine function. And this should do it. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so no, I got noped. What did I do? Oh, I left out a parenthesis. But it also says planet Dia can't be a does not exist. So why don't you exist? You're right there. I did declare you. Oh, I used a capital P. And this is one of those languages that cares about such things. Okay. Oh my God, Nagustavo. Programming is where astronomy gets interesting. Oh man, it didn't draw things correctly. Oh, because I didn't tell it to. Okay, let's try that again. I want to draw the line at stick, spelled correctly, So what I'm doing now is I'm trying to animate a tidally locked planet, and I'm tidally locking at one component at a time. And I overkilled it because you have to divide diameters by 2 to get them into radii. Let's try dividing by 2. That should work better. My stick came unattached. Comp sci isn't required for astronomy, but it's how I made my career. I started out double majoring. Well, I didn't start out. I, after a while, decided to double major with computer science, starting my second year of university. And I didn't finish my CS degree, mostly because I didn't want to take assembly, and I'm a loser like that. But with all those algorithms courses, that's not working. I'm going to exaggerate the size of my planet to make this more visible. With all those computer science classes, everything I was doing science-wise became much, much easier. And it turns out astronomy, that was overkill. I now have a binary star system is what I have. But it'll be easier. What the heck? That did not behave as intended. Oh, I see what I did. Let's try that again. Hey, Hanny, welcome. You taught yourself assembly on an Atari? Oh, dear Lord. I will fix the X motion. I'm just trying to get my stick to move first. It should be on the very edge of the circle when it gets all the way to the right and then begin to pass. I can't tell because I made my stupid planet way too big. Okay, let's make my planet smaller. And yes, I know I should make this a variable, and I haven't yet. I don't know why I'm declaring my planet diameter inside of a loop. It's a very stupid place to put that. This, in fact... Oh, I remember why I'm doing it. Never mind. Ignore me. Okay, so I'm doing something wrong down here, drawing my stick. So stick X equals planet X plus the planet diameter divided by 2 times the cosine of the number of steps divided by 2. I feel like I'm doing something very, very wrong, and I can't see what. So I'm sure I just have like a float to int problems. There it is. I bet my planet diameter is not a float, and that's my problem. So I have a deep-seated hatred of tightly cast languages. I know many people love them, but I just want my variables to be what I think they should be. No, that wasn't it. I'm going to print out my stick X and see if I can figure out what's going on. Because I'm just not understanding what's going wrong here. Okay, that is not typing. Stop. You didn't put the space in. You silly, silly thing. Why didn't you put the space? didn't put the space. I'm going to get tricky on it and see if that does it. No. So it's trying to actually add them together instead of concatenating them. So let's do that. And then let's do print like that. And hopefully that will work. Yes. So that number, I can't tell. It's all right if your brain isn't wired for programming. My brain, unfortunately, doesn't like to let go of problems. So I have the opposite problem. So I will often get obsessed with something. I'm going to do offset because that's what I don't know what I just did. I somehow ended up on line 1. What I actually want is an offset. So let's do an offset from the position. And now I want to print the offset. Last night I was working on a coding project, and I just got essentially distracted because I couldn't get a problem to figure. I couldn't figure it out. It wouldn't go. And so I ended up staying up far later than I meant to because I was just trying to solve the problem. And this is why I could never really be a commercial programmer for hire, because I'm going to be given problems I don't know how to solve, and I'm going to have to walk away at the end of the day. And okay, so this should go to 0. Now it's going negative. So it's doing the offset with a changing value. Let me stop this and take a look at this. So it started at 50 for the offset. So that would be the planet diameter times 1. No, that's not what it should be. So the offset is my planet diameter 100? I guess my planet diameter is currently 100. So that goes from 50 to 0. Is that what it should do? It's going from 50 to 0 at the center, and then it's going negative again. Why is my start position not appearing to move? I am so confused. Let me find my planet diameter and set it. To just like a flat out number. Just to make this easier. So planet diameter, to make this easy, I'm just going to set it to 150 so I can see this. Yes, I am step by step building code to destroy planets because it seemed like a perfectly reasonable thing to do. Okay, I'm going to get rid of my star while I try and figure out why my stick that indicates that I'm tidally locked isn't drawing correctly. So, goodbye, star. Whoever needed a star? So imagine there's a star there. Now, we basically have a stick attached to the star that should always be pointed towards the star. Okay, so it's going in towards the center. There it is at the center. There it is coming around. My planet is behaving oddly because it's two different sizes. Let me fix that. Okay. Stop. Play. So there's the stick disappearing behind. Now, boom, it's at the edge. It's creeping in towards the center. Okay, so it turns out the stick is behaving perfectly. I was just failing to see it. Okay. I'm going to add a new variable, which no, I'm going to keep planet. I'm going to change how I do this eventually. I'm going to move my planet diameter to wherever I set my star's diameter. Okay. Because I know that my planet is 0.08 times the radius of the star it's going around, and I have to make all of this an int because of tightly cast languages. Now, if I come down here, I'm going to put my star back. I'm going to stop obsessing over the stick not looking right, because it's behaving. It's just behaving on such a small scale that we don't perceive it. And that is fine. As long as I know it's behaving, I'm okay with this. Whoa. Okay. Houston, we have a problem. There's a line I forgot to get rid of. All right. So here we go. Come on out the other side. Be good. It looks like it's behaving. Okay, so now that I have that behaving, the next thing I need to figure out how to do is to get the coloration behaving. And, or I can get the velocity behaving, which will be much easier than the coloration. So I need to figure out circular motion seen edge on will appear to be going slower. Oh, I hate doing perspectives. Okay, I'll work the math out in this in just a second. Let me kill off this print function below. Where did I put that? There it is. I can't figure out right now because my Apple Pencil is dead. I could put perspective in. Do you have those numbers handy, Noel? I can do that. I know you like perspectives. Hey, Ulysses. Welcome. The battery in the pen is dead. I got a very sad warning earlier today and then didn't heed the warning and actually charge my pencil. Okay, so I need to look up the numbers on this one again because I've forgotten them. So this is modeled on somewhere I wrote down what it's modeled on. I think it's KE something. I just don't remember. Kelt. My brain was like kelp, but I knew that wasn't what it was. So there, let me look up this system. Kelt B. There should be a number on that. I think it's 9B. And I ate the number at some point. Yeah, this is 9B. Alrighty, so with Kelt 9B, I'm going to put a box of text up here at the top. This is modeled on the actual system Kelt 9B. Star is a... It doesn't want to tell me. 10,170 Kelvin. So these are the temperatures, and this is what we've matched with the colors that you're seeing. I'm going to put late B type, and then the planet is it varies from 40-50. Dang, all the trouble typing. To 4600 Kelvin. This is hotter than M and many K type. Thank you, Anna Kim Luke, for the follow. Thank you so much. So these are the actual details on these stars. Now, for the star, we also have, let me organize these numbers a little bit better. We have temperature, then we have radius. I don't know why my tab key wasn't being happy. Radius. The radius on this is 2.362 Jupiter. And then for the planet, we have temp of all the typos. And then we have radius. Again, I am having failure to tab. The radius of the planet is, just to mix units, 1.891. Okay, so this one is Jupiter and this one is the sun. So I'll have to sort those out. Hey, Skydiver Idaho, welcome. Are you guys being evil? Just multiply by a fraction of z. Now the question, Andy, is, do you mean the metallicity z? Do you mean the acceleration z? Do you mean some other form of z? So, hints. Z in the viewing plane. I'm going to say Z. It is my prerogative. Okay, let me see. Do I have... So I have the radiuses. Do I have orbital elements? Yes, I do. Dang, that's close. So the orbital elements, we have A, which is the semi-major axis, is 0.03462 AU. So we have all sorts of mismatched units. So what I'm going to do between now and next Tuesday, well, first of all, I'm going to save this so I don't go through this again. I'm going to save this. So what I want to do for next time is figure out how the angular size will appear to vary to someone viewing all of this from, I don't know, I'll figure some distance away. The planet seems to be disappearing oddly. I just noticed this. So there it is. Oh, it's going off the left-hand edge. When did that start to happen? I did something terrible and I didn't notice it previously. So I'm clearly going to have to fix that. Because it currently has an elliptical orbit through the atmosphere of the star. That's something I can easily fix. Yes, saving. I will save more, in fact. So it has been saved. So what I'm going to do for next week is figure out all of these numbers in kilometers and then work on figuring out how from a given distance away. And Noel, you're welcome to make suggestions on this since this is your field instead of mine. From a given distance away that makes the star appear, I don't know, that's what, 6 degrees in angular size, I guess. If the star appears to be 6 degrees in angular size, what is the angular size of the planet when it's closest, and how does that change as it orbits? I am not converting to leagues, Fenmil. I like myself. I like myself enough to not do that. So I'm going to try and find this one last bug real fast. Somewhere I changed something. So planet X is getting set wrong somewhere. So let me find where planet X is set. Planet X equals 0.1 times width. So planet X equals planet X plus orbital step. So does that mean this is starting in the right place and then like drifting further and further away every time it orbits? That's wild. I have a drifting star. Somewhere I don't have as many steps in one direction as I do in the other. Step less than 100, so that goes for 100. So I go from 0 to 99. I have an off by 1 somewhere. This should be 199. Okay. I found that bug. That was easy to find. Okay, now it will stop drifting slowly to the left. The focal length of this image is 31.516 times the diameter of the star in the image. Okay, Noel, we may have you on as a guest next week to explain that, because that's not intuitive. It does want to escape. It does want to live, Fenmil. You are correct. You are correct. It is now locked again back in slow scorching death, which I guess is probably better than like going through the outer atmosphere of the star. So it's been saved. both from drifting off the side of the screen and also from all other horrors that might suffer. And it amuses me greatly. Ego, the living planet. Yes, we can name it that. You're okay, skydiver. We all had to start somewhere. I make plenty of mistakes. I am not yet ready to code in Python live on the internet after how dumb Python made me feel last night. This is just a language I've used before that's very similar to most of the other languages I use most of the time. So we're all just learning together and laughing together. Ask any questions you have. And if your name means you've actually jumped out of planes, you know a lot of things I don't know. So I'm going to end this particular stream here so that I can run all the numbers and work with Noel a bit. I may, if he's available, see about having him on next week. That's an excellent pair of lines, Ulysses. Yeah, live programming is totally a thing, Andy Lee. Check out what Serpent AI is doing as well. So Serpent_AI, he's another one of the coders here on Twitch. Thank you, the music, Dan. I hope you guys do learn all of this. Yes, Serpent AI is part of the Brainy Bites. We're a team of different streamers that are all working to do different things that put information into your brain. So for all the new people who are here, welcome. And yeah, not breaking a dob is always a goal. Working a dob is its own definite struggle sometimes. So for those of you who are new, welcome. My name is Dr. Pamela Gay, and I'm the Director of Technology for the Astronomical Society of the Pacific, and CosmoQuest is the project that I'm working on that all of these different random streams and random people you meet here at CosmoQuest X are all a part of. If you go to CosmoQuest.org, we offer you different ways that you can get involved in learning and doing science. We actually have a particular need right now for people to help us map out the surface of Mars and Mercury. If you have a few free moments, if you're watching a Twitch stream and it doesn't use all of your brain cells, please open a second browser window and go over to cosmoquest.org, register, and try your hand at mapping out other worlds. Yeah, feel free to check out the podcast I do with Fraser Kane. It's called Astronomycast. We have a channel over on YouTube and live stream on YouTube. Most Fridays this week will actually be streaming Thursday late afternoon here in the United States. And the next thing that will be happening on this particular channel is tomorrow I will be back at 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. London, 10 a.m. Pacific to bring you the Daily Space. This is our fast-paced roundup of all that is new in astronomy and space science. So tune in tomorrow and we'll have more to share. And as always, if you like what you see, please follow. Follows are free. If you want to sustain our efforts, we're part of a 501c3 nonprofit. So every subscription and bit really helps to keep us doing all the things we're doing. So welcome new people. And sometimes you learn about how to save planets by practicing destroying them, Andy. So welcome, and I hope I can keep putting science in your brain. I am going to raid over to another channel. Things may slightly glitch in the process because I'm going to have to do a fast switch over with OBS. But new and interesting things should be coming. Thank you all. Oh, of course, it takes me a moment to figure out how to raid.